Absolutely. Jamila, I just love you. Thank you so much for having me on today. I know that this conversation is one that we've been having. We actually met quite a few months ago, back in the summer, through a mutual friend. So shout out to Deanna
Yes.
for connecting us. And, really we got to know each other as women first, right? And we had the opportunity to just learn a little bit more about each other, show some each other some grace as mothers and business owners. And then
Oh,
we
and
got
before I'm sorry, let me jump in for our audience. I have a 2 and a 5-year-old. She has a baby. So just know that this live is going to be the best that it can. But, kids happen, life happens.
thank you. Yes, let's preface all of that. Um, and it was really interesting because we connected at a time, speaking about the power of one shift today, we connected at a point in time where, I was just over halfway through my first year as a mother, and
Mhm,
really trying to figure out and navigate, like, how do I get back into the swing of things? Do I want to get back into the swing of things?
mhm.
What does this look like? Um, for me, and all of that, and some of the conversations that we had, I will never forget where you're like, Shana, we need to talk. I can help you. I can help you. And I was like, okay. And just for transparency reasons, because I know that some of you guys out here watching might relate to this. You might have felt like, man, this has been a tough year. I know so many business owners right now that are struggling with sales and struggling to make conversions. They're struggling to get the buy in from their audience. Everybody loves the idea of them, but is not converting. And we know that that is the lifeblood of what we do. And for a lot of us, it's our livelihood and how we keep things moving. And it's hard to not internalize that
Mhm.
when you are doing your best and doing all of the things that have worked. And so Jamila and I really had a conversation one day, and she doesn't know this part, so this is exciting for her to hear right now. But I actually was doing an event the evening that I had booked my session with her that morning, and I knew that I like something good was going to come out of it, obviously, but I did it intentionally so that my energy could shift for that day. And it did, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. But I'm so excited for those of you that aren't familiar with me. I used to run the branding boutique. We are gonna be closing it out at the end of the this year, and that was part of that shift. It was part of, yes, I wanna get back into this. Everything that we did, I remember, my partner and I going into Louboutin in Miami in the design,
I bought me a pair too.
right?
That was my
And
celebration.
And it was my first pair. Like, it was so interesting to walk in and to feel, here's me in my 4-month postpartum body. Like, I'm pushing this stroller in like a raggedy, like, dress, what, like, comfy. I was just comfy. I was not
Mhm.
expecting for us to go there. I should have taken my own advice about always being on point. But, anyways, and we walked in and I just instantly felt out of place. But it was
Mm.
interesting because, and this, I want you guys to hear me on this because it's so important. It was interesting that I got in the store and I let my boyfriend do what he was doing. He was exchanging shoes, and I sat and kind of hid in the corner. Like,
Mm.
it's not about me, whatever. And he was like, why don't you try some things on? Why don't you whatever? And instantly going to this, like, well, I'm not buying this. I'm not, whatever. I can't afford this, which I could. But it was this moment of like, wow, in this environment where I feel like I don't belong, I retreat,
Mm.
right? And then the interesting thing was, I'm watching other people with their drinks and whatever. I'm like, how does this girl get a drink in here? Like, hello, right? But the way that you get it is the minute that you start engaging.
Mm.
So as I said, okay, I'll try on. Are there matching ones to his? Are there whatever? And started trying them on. The drinks started flowing. And there was the reward for like coming out, but nobody was coming there to say, like, come try something on or you're fine here. Nobody is giving you that permission ultimately. And so I tell that whole story just to say that, like, a lot of us are sitting on the sidelines of our business,
Mhm.
waiting for clients to come to us or waiting for opportunities to come to us. And that's a big focus of Epic is the opportunities that you want to go after. But we're not just getting up and engaging. We're not showing up to those environments and saying, I don't know if I belong here or not, but like I'm here, right? What can we make happen? And it was a great feeling when I found the shoes that I fell in love with. I'm actually at the root of it, we need to understand who we are as women. There's so many things that are telling us that we're not good enough, that we're not strong enough, that we're not beautiful enough, that we're not rich enough, that we're not
Mhm.
talented enough, like all the you're not enough of,
Right.
right? And in full transparency, like when we connected and when we had our session, I was feeling like lost. I was feeling completely like, I don't know where to go from here. I am a bit of this, I'm trying a bit of that, I'm dabbling here, I'm doing whatever, like that squirrel that we're talking about. And it was a lack of belief that I knew what was right for me and a lack of belief in that I could do this alone,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? And so there's some of us out there that are also feeling that way, like I need other people or I need, and I'm not talking about not having a coach. We all
Right.
need a coach at like every stage of what we're doing, right?
Right.
But more so just saying like, no, you don't need your partner so that you could be a better mom. You don't need your partner so that you could make more money. You don't need a business partner so that you can, advance your career. You like,
Dive.
it's that self accountability, honestly, and the self-awareness that
Right.
is required to say something's happening here. This isn't working. How do we change it? And how do we change it now? And in any shift or pivot that you make, right, there's going to be a slump as well.
Yeah.
There is a time of weeding out. There is a time of saying no. There is a time of being like, that's not for me. There's a time of reflection, right? And we need that so that we can be
Well,
clear.
let's call that a pause.
Okay.
Because a slump would be like you're up and then you're down, but this is you're kind of starting again. You're slowing down, you're pausing to check your direction to make sure you're
Mhm.
going in the right way, right?
Yeah. But
Mhm.
in your finances, there might be a slump that is correlated
That's
to
true.
that pause.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
There
Right.
might be a slump of clients because who was coming in or not coming in, and now you're trying to figure out whatever. But I'll go with that. Like we do need that pause. We do need
Mhm.
to interject that. I think of playing sports, and when you catch the ball, you're pausing and you're looking and you're seeing like what are my options here, and then you're gonna go take action. But you had to read and react in the situation, and a lot of us due to our past, due to our self perception, due to how others are seeing us, we'll stay in a situation because we're so attached to like a version of ourselves, or we're so
Mhm.
attached to like the ego side of what we're supposed to present that we don't make the shift.
Mhm.
I just loved it. I loved that day, literally finishing our session. And you guys know me, like for branding, I'm already on it. So I had already started pulling out my new brand colors. I already had outfits in it, but they had not made a debut yet. And I went to my makeup artist who knows me very well, and we only do on brand makeup. And I was like, yeah, we're doing like cobalt blue and lime green today. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm soft launching Epic today. That's what's happening. And she was like, okay. And even, my outfit was just gorgeous, like this cobalt blue blazer,
Mhm.
white like bralette, which normally I would not be caught dead with my stomach out at a speaking event.
Okay.
You know what? And the crazy thing was that I equally was like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm doing this.
And you look good, girl.
Thank you. And it was so empowering to even step into the room. And even when I look at that on my feed now, I'm like, man, like it's such a standout. And my boutique brand was gorgeous. You know, it's
Mhm.
very polished. It's very stunning. I mean, everything in my house is on brand to that.
Mhm.
But now it's like, no, I want to bring out that fun and that fierceness and the energy and quite frankly, like the sexiness. Like, can we get back to being a little sexy? Like, who said we can't?
We're bringing it back.
Yes, I might have to play some JT later,
I
right?
know I was like, I'm not gonna sing it and be corny in this moment, but I was thinking it.
Yes, and like because the reality is that our creativity comes from our sexuality, right? And I don't know all the chakras and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to claim to know, but whatever that one is, that's where it goes. Somebody in the comments, please correct me because your has no clue. Um, but to me, that is like really where we get our energy and our intuition and our drive for things. And when we are not feeling good about ourselves, whether that's
Mhm.
physically, how we look, whether it's just what we're thinking in terms of our mindset, and we know that these are all combined,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
um, you don't produce your best work. You don't
No.
show up for your clients. You don't show up for yourself. You don't show up for your family, your children. You don't show up for those opportunities that we're talking about. And like, really, you're not even able to show up for your business
Right.
because you're just like uninspired.
Yes. I
That flow going is can take some time too. Right? But it's
Right.
again that alignment piece when you feel like, man, this is what I'm meant to do. You are making micro shifts and
Yep.
micro decisions multiple times a day, multiple times a day.
Mhm.
Do you trust yourself to make the best decisions for you? The only way that you can, and you touched on this earlier, is if you have that clear vision of where you're going and what you want. Because then you'll know this, yes, is bringing me closer to what I want, what I desire, right? Like, and
So, Shayna, we've been talking for quite a bit.
yes,
Any final thoughts that you want to share with our audiences to on this topic of the power of one shift? Anything you want as a takeaway?
yeah, I would just say, you guys, if you guys have been following Jamila and if you have like loved her content, if it's resonated with you, if it has felt really like she's talking exactly to you, because I know I felt like that a lot of times reading her content, um, make the one shift decision to just book a call. Book a call, have a conversation. It is so worth it. The exercise that she took me through was one that will probably stay with me forever. It was really beautiful for me to be able to see what my patterns were and how that was impacting my life, my relationship, how I'm raising my son, the money, all of those things. And I know that we just scratched the surface on what she's capable of doing. But like, if you have been hesitating or if you've been saying, like, when I get the money, like, your life is depending on it. And our minds need to constantly be worked out as well. And that's essentially what a mindset coach is going to do for you is help you reshape some of your thoughts and look at those perspectives and unpack some things that are deep, deep seated in there, right? That have been driving you for a very long time. So I just want to encourage you guys to like, please book a call, check her out. My audience, thank you so much for rocking with us today. If you're in the replay, please let us know that you're in the replay.
Mhm.
Um, Equally, if you loved Jamila's vibe today, please, please, please like follow her, soak up some of her bomb content, and if you feel led to, book a call.
Thank you, Shayna.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I really, really do. It always like we talked about, it's always so humbling, fulfilling, and rewarding to just know um that I was able to help you move the needle.
Mhm.
Like literally when I saw you doing that presentation to those ladies, I was like, yes, like,
Yeah.
because you get invested, when you're helping people, you get invested in their success. And you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so, so happy for you and so proud of you. And so I would say as well, if you are a woman business owner, do you work with men?
No.
Okay, yeah, me neither. But I really trying to do the things that Shana talked about, trying to understand how to bring yourself into your business, how to put yourself out there in a way that really reflects who you are and who you are being, and in a way that actually works from the inside out. Because I
Yeah.
get that that's more your strategy. This isn't about, picking out colors and, taking a bunch of pictures with a laptop and a phone. This is about you really coming to understand who you are and how you can reflect that so that the right women are drawn to you
Yeah.
from your visuals, from your content, from your marketing, all those things. And so that is her wheelhouse and her expertise. And so the same, make sure you book a call with Shana, message her, friend her. Do you have a Facebook group?
Not yet. It's coming.
All right, we'll get in her group. And I'll say this too. If you really enjoyed this live discussion, stay tuned because I'm always, going live. I don't have a regular schedule, but I, go and I do share these videos on YouTube as well. So you'll probably see it there. But if you enjoy the information that we talked about creating a shift in your life, especially if you're going through a slump, like I shared earlier, I literally did a training last night where I kind of talked about the steps that I went through to pull myself out of a slump in my business. And that's pinned to the top of my private Facebook group, High Powered Healing. And so if you have any interest in that, you can comment below this video and I can send you the link for the group. Other than that, I think that this was an amazing discussion,
Yes.
Shana,
Yes.
very powerful. And I hope that if you are watching live, thank you. If you're watching the replay, thank you. And please share your thoughts with us below. Or if you prefer, messages privately, because we would love to have your feedback because, we're going to keep talking. And
That's
so if you
it.
have some ideas, we're open to that as well. So,
Yes.
all right. Well, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to go ahead and close things out here for us. All righty.